answer because I would say 95% of the time, that's what's going to happen. First of all, you're going to keep doing it until the paramedics come. Or, as Harry pointed out, if you are too tired, you do have a right to stop, ask bystanders to take over. Okay? Ask somebody else to take over. Now, I have almost every class, I would have, or every other class, I would have somebody says, stop if he starts breathing. Now, that is not incorrect. If he starts breathing, then yes, you can stop CPR. However, even though that is not incorrect, I need to warn you guys. Real life, that's actually very, very rare. It is extremely rare for you to be doing this. Chest compressions, 2 breaths, chest compressions, 2 breaths, and all of a sudden, the person just
sits up and says, hey.
Yeah,
There's
it only happens
a
if you
there.
Yeah. It is very rare that that would happen, and it's unfortunate that CPR, R stands for resuscitation. It does. CPR, the R does stands for resuscitation. And it's unfortunate because it almost gives people the impression the whole point of doing CPR is to resuscitate the person. But that's not the reason why we do CPR on somebody. The reason why we do CPR on somebody is to keep them viable. Keep them viable until the paramedics come. Okay? You're not going to resuscitate anybody. There's probably a 0.1 chance of the person starts breathing on their own. And I'm not talking about choking. Choking I'll go into later in the afternoon. Choking, yes. Once you dislodge the fluid, there is a chance that the person will start breathing on their own. But not CPR. Very, very slim. And I guarantee you. Okay? It's not even part of the technique to assess breathing because we don't want to waste time. Yep. We're just going to keep doing it. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. Either he doesn't need CPR, he's already breathing, then in that case we shouldn't be doing CPR to begin with. But if he's not breathing and we start doing this, the purpose is not to hope that he's going to start breathing again. Very, very slow. The purpose is to keep. To answer that, absolutely no.
You don't have to stop, but you keep doing it as long as you can and get someone else to sub the end when you can't.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compressions, 2 breaths.
That's so important.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Don't stop unless, as Harry pointed out, you're too tired. Now, if you're too tired, you have that right to stop because we don't want there to be 2 casualties, right? We don't want you to get a heart attack.
That's true, you could have a heart attack or something.
Yeah, we don't want Harry to get a heart attack. So Harry has the right to stop, but as Harry pointed out, he's going to ask a bystander to take over, and that's perfect. Perfect. Okay? But even if Harry cannot find a bystander to take over, just make sure you stay in the area. In other words, don't start CPR. I'm too tired. Go to McDonald's. Okay, that's called abandonment.
Yeah.
That's called abandonment. Okay, abandonment you actually can be sued. So you're gonna start CPR. I'm too tired. Stay in the area. Monitor him. When the paramedics come, yes, then you can go to McDonald's. Okay, just don't go to McDonald's before the paramedics come. That's called abandonment.
So we're actually.
He got food here, but we're breathing into him. Are we not pushing the food further in? Or he's bleeding, he's got a glass or nail stuck, and when we apply pressure to stop the bleeding, are we doing more damage? And the reason why what Marilyn said brought up that question is because we are going to try our best Okay, maybe, we're gonna avoid the object and kind of wiggle our finger around so that we don't push the object further in and try to stop the bleeding. But bottom line is this, that's the only thing we can do. Okay, we try our best, but if we do more damage as a result of trying to stop the bleeding, because we're not doctors, we're not gods, we just try our best. So just always keep that in mind. When you're helping somebody, try your best, and that's all we can do.
Yeah, it's kind of the majority of the time you're doing the right thing, so.
Yes, yes. Majority of the time you're doing the right thing, but even if you are to do more damage, please don't worry about it. Because the whole point of us as first aider, keep them viable until the doctors come, which means, and in fact, keeping them viable doesn't even mean keeping them alive. Let me ask you guys specifically this question. If the person is dead, do we stop CPR?
Keep going for the first five guys.
Absolutely. And the reason is because the purpose is not to keep them alive, but to keep them viable. And that's why even if he's dead, we don't stop. We let the doctors determine whether he's dead or not. Too dead to help him, let the doctors determine that. Our job, keep him viable until doctors get to him.
The hypothermia.
Okay, so this is one thing that no matter how many times you have taken the course before, I find that they're not aware of this. So let me just talk about this. Primary survey ABC, okay, airway, breathing, and circulation. So first of all, to the airway, you do the head touch lift, and then breathing, you assess breathing. If not breathing, okay, ignore circulation. Do not worry about circulation. Immediately, 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compressions, 2 breaths, until the paramedics come. Don't worry that he's bleeding. Now, I see a look on your face, I know what you're going to ask.
Okay, so he's bleeding heavily.
I know what you're going to ask. Yes,
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
We don't really want to start pressing on him and getting rid of the rest of the blood that's coming.
Okay, so this is what I want you to do, Harry. You are going to focus your attention on breathing, which is 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. You are going to ask bystanders, as you're doing the compressions, but you need to help them immediately. Can you check for bleeding? Yeah, I see blood here. Yeah, put your hand there, stop the bleeding. So you're going to ask.
Tell somebody else.
Yeah, you're going to ask bystanders.
Okay, and I'll ask you this then. If you're alone, what do you do?
Absolutely, yes. That's the important thing now.
Do I tie my coat around it?
If you are alone, ignore circulation.
Okay.
Even if it was bleeding, just keep doing this. Ignore circulation, okay? And I find that A, B, C, B higher priority than C. Ignore circulation if you're by yourself. Because you cannot be doing this and then put your hand to try to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't be doing two things at the same time. You only have one choice, B, which is breathing. And because breathing is higher priority than C, just do this. Another thing that people are not aware of is vomiting. Vomiting takes the highest priority. Okay? Now, for unconscious person, they cannot do this. Even when we're sleeping, if something is stuck in our throat, we'll do this. Unconscious person cannot. If they vomit, comes up, down the airway, they drown in their own vomit, immediately they die. Highest priority. If you see any type of food, foam, liquid coming out the person's mouth, stop CPR, stop your rapid body survey, immediately put it into recovery position, let the vomit come out, wait for the ambulance. Highest priority.
There's nothing else you can do.
Nothing else you can do. Yep.
That's why drowning victims, they always put them
Oh, yeah, and
so it can
they cough it out.
hopefully spew out.
Okay. So we'll go into drowning later this afternoon. We are definitely still going to do chest compressions on the drowning, but we'll
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely. So we'll go into that just after.
Excellent.
Because bottom line is drowning, we want to push the water wall. Yeah, we do.
But that's different from the other situation.
Okay, so let's continue with